Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the master of Hoppets, and happy Halloween! I'm a spooky, I don't know, cow? Not even a costume, just wearing a hat this year. Hey, because I'm not going to any Halloween parties. But hey, I thought I'd put these on because there's horn on this. There's horns on the label on this beer that I got from Brewery, the great web shop in Belgium. Link for it is down below. This is a beer by Crooked Stave, and this is none other than the Crooked Stave Nightmare on Brett's Blueberry Edition. It's got a goat skull with horns. I'm wearing a, I guess, buffalo hat. Almost. At least it's got horns. It's not very Halloween-like, but this beer sure is, because it's called Nightmare on Brett. Follows that kind of spooky theme there. So, theme, okay. But yeah, this is Nightmare on Bread with blueberries. This is their dark sour ale from Crooked Stave. That's Crooked Stave's. That is aged in Leopold Bros whiskey barrels, and then they added blueberries to it. It's 9.66%, so metal as fuck as well. And yeah, this batch here was from January of last year, 2016. So over a year old, about a year and a half. My favorite variation, actually funny enough, last year for Halloween, I reviewed the cherry and raspberry versions, also from Brewery. But I've heard from a lot of people this is the best. I've actually had all the variations, even this one, by now, at MBCC, but it's gonna be nice to try it with a fresh palate. And this is my favorite series from Crooked Stave. It's metal themed, it's really good beers, and the fruit editions are awesome. It's basically kind of like a sour imperial stout type thing. Like it's got stouty type flavors, but also sourness and fruit, which just works really well together in my mind. Similar to a beer like the Tart of Darkness that they do at the brewery. So we got the Crooked Stave Nightmare on Brett Blueberry Poured for this All Hallows Eve, and that pours very nice in the glass. It's not like the cherry and the raspberry editions had like more of a red hue. I mean, especially on the head, like that was pinkish. It does have a red hue, but more it's like a black, dark brown color. Really nice head. The head faded a bit, but when I poured it, it got a really nice kind of two-finger, thick, frothy brown colored head, which is very impressive for a sour. I feel like often sours don't have the greatest amount of head, but it looks great in this beer. I can smell like chocolate-covered blueberries already. Really looking forward to this one, so let's check out the aroma. Oh yeah, chocolate-covered sour blueberries is what I'm picking up. That you almost could say you soaked in bourbon. That is, it's got that tanniny blueberry aroma, which is chocolate. Like dark, but also kind of milky chocolate, interestingly enough. And then whiskey. Oaky, drying oak bourbon whiskey is kind of like a Brettanomyces-esque funk. It's interesting. I think the Crooked Stave's beers are getting more and more funky over time, like the newer batches, which is pretty cool. Not crazy funk, but there is some there. But yeah, dark chocolate, milky chocolate, some toasty notes. It's very unique. Balsamic vinegar as well on it, like balsamic vinegar reduction. Yeah, and the charred oak with that blueberry. The blueberry is not crazy intense. But the thing is also fruit flavors often fade with the age on beers like this. So it's not super intense right now, but it's definitely there. Well, let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers. And thanks a ton to Beer Jim for the beer, and happy Halloween. Oh-wee. I haven't had a sour in quite a while. It's funny. It almost always happens. Oh, I feel it like up here. The sourness. It almost always happens the first time I drink a sour in a long time. Let's try it again. The first sip for me is always so fun with sours, especially the ones that are this sour. It just puckers up like crazy. Loads of sourness, lactic sourness. I'm getting much more chocolate on this than I've done on other variations on Nightmare on Bread and just other vintages. Loads of dark chocolate and port wine as well. The blueberry's there, but it doesn't stick out as much. I think the variant that had flavors that stuck out the most was the raspberry. That was just like crazy raspberry forward, like chocolate covered raspberries almost. But this is even more chocolatey and dark chocolatey. It's got like woodsy, oaky flavors as well, like a dry, woody, almost cork-like flavor. And then like that whiskey. It's definitely there on an aftertaste with a toasty, roasty, kind of burnt woody flavor. A really nice fruity sourness. That balsamic vinegar is really there. Balsamic vinegar reduction. Port wine type flavors. Almost like if you could say sour port wine. Not sure if that exists. This is really good. It's really complex, and this is also a beer. I chill it down, took it out of the fridge for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so it had to heat up a bit, poured it, and it's really a beer that's really fun to drink as it warms, because you get much more layers of complexity as it warms, and more stout character, which is really cool, like roasty, toasty notes. There's like a toasty, roasty thing here too, but the big thing that makes you think of dark beers like stouts is that chocolate. That chocolate kind of almost, like there's almost coffee nuances. But it's also got other berry type flavors, like sour strawberries, and like almost green strawberries I'm getting, or like red fruits. But the dominant is of course blueberry, but it's definitely, the thing is also with blueberries, they don't have as much flavors as many other berries, so you need to use a lot. And I think, well, maybe not in sours, but sometimes when breweries make them in stouts and use them in stouts, they boost it with flavorings. Which I don't really mind too much as long as the beer's still good, but this is really good. I'd say I had a feeling that this would be my favorite, because my favorite variation on Origins was the blueberry version, which I thought was out of this world. But I must say, I still think I prefer the raspberry, interestingly enough. I still think this is a fucking great beer, but it's like on par with me with the cherry version. This lacks that kind of almond character you got from the cherry version. It also, by the way, has a little bit of a vanilla from the barrels. But the raspberry was just so nice and so intense on the flavors. This is still really good stuff. So, rating wise, guys, for the Crooked Stave Nightmare on Brett Blueberry Edition, let's go 95. This is really fucking world class, or almost like going into that world class territory. Pretty fucking amazing sour beer. I really urge you guys to try some Crooked Stave. It's kind of pricey, I know, but I think it's really good. So yeah, this series, Nightmare on Bread, is one to check out for sure. That's my favorite from them, and it's pretty metal. That's nice. So really good stuff, guys. And 95 for the Crooked Stave Nightmare on Bread Blueberry Edition. What's your favorite variant on Nightmare on Bread? As I said, mine is, knowing now after having this, the cherry version, let's try again, raspberry version. But I think I had that one last year when I had the cherry and raspberry. They were fresher. I mean, this is from January 2016. So of course a lot of the fruit flavor has faded, and you get a bit more sourness because of the fructose, I guess, being eaten by the yeast or the bacteria, the lactose. So you get more sourness. So I bet a fresh bottle would have even more blueberry flavor, and then I might prefer it more because I prefer blueberries over raspberries. But in terms of flavors, yeah, it's the raspberry edition I prefer. But definitely check it out, guys. If you want to try it, hop onto Beer Gym. They got this. They also got the new 750 variant of the regular Nightmare on Bread, and I think they even might have still have the cherry and raspberry if you want to try all of them. So, as always, check it out, guys. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and happy Halloween! And I'm going to say cheers, and enjoy my Halloween indoors with some sour beer, and see you guys in another beer review.